U.S. President Donald Trump says market volatility is a necessary medicine as Asian stocks plunge after his tariff announcement last week. So far, those have hit this region the hardest. Our reporter Tiffany Wong is at the Taiwan Stock Exchange where the market just closed. Tiffany, what's the damage look like there?
Taiwan is one of the hardest hit markets in Asia today. The benchmark index, the TAIEX, closing under 20,000 points after a 10% drop early this morning. That's the biggest single day drop in the stock market's history. Now, this is the first market response we've seen to that 32% tariff imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump on exports from Taiwan. And he announced that right before a long 4-day weekend in Taiwan. Now, shares in tech giants like TSMC and Foxconn also took a plunge of about 10% this morning, also triggering trading restrictions on their stocks. And about 1,000 other stocks on this exchange also triggered those trading curbs. Now, Taiwan's government did anticipate these drops coming, and they did try to implement some measures like massive limits on short selling, which is when investors sell off their shares in anticipation that the price will drop. But Taiwan's financial regulator emphasized that these are temporary measures that should only last the week. But just this morning, the Taiwan Stock Exchange Corporation called for an emergency meeting before the market opened to try and reassure investors that the market will stabilize.
台湾证券交易所呼吁投资人 给予我国的企业、政府信心，台湾产业的韧性，服役我国政府的权力的资源，必能充分因应全球局势的挑战。短期市场的波动，应回归基本面的理性评估，审慎面对近期台股震荡的走势。
So we can see that the regulators are trying to reassure investors that the market will stabilize. But based on the trading today, it looks like investors are still jittery about these tariffs.
And Tiffany, how are other Asian markets doing? I mean, the entire region has been hit hard by these tariffs.
Well, Asia has been hit the hardest by these tariffs from Trump, and it's a bloodbath in the markets today. Shanghai and Hong Kong also opened their exchanges after a long weekend, and Shanghai dropped over 6%, and the Hang Seng index took over an 11% dip during the day. Japan's Nikkei index also triggered a circuit breaker early in the morning after dropping 8%, but has now stabilized to about 6%. Now, all of these governments have been scrambling to implement new measures and try to minimize the impacts of Trump's tariffs.